Good morning, students. In today's class of managing change in organization, we'll start with a new topic, which is why people form groups, or what are the reasons for people to join groups. In the previous class, we have tried to understand what is a group, we have understood the definition, and we have also understood what are the various characteristics of a group. I will be doing a recap of the previous class before starting today's class. In the previous class, we have read that group is a group of consists of two or more interacting people who have a common set of objective or goals, and they perceive themselves as a part of the group. They are interdependent and they try to accomplish these common objectives together. So this is a brief understanding of what is a group. Apart from that, we have studied what are the various characteristics of the group. That means if these characteristics are present, then only we can say that a particular aggregate of people are, or collection of people are, a group. Okay, so let us just go through the characteristics. We have studied about the purpose, that they should have a common purpose that will bind the people together in a group. This is one of the main characteristics. Then comes the structure. They should have a relatively permanent or prominent structure with a leader, and they should have a proper hierarchy. There should be proper systems and processes in place. This is also one of the characteristics of the group. Must be cohesiveness in the group. Cohesiveness means the willingness to stick with the group, to be a part of the group. That must be there. And this cohesiveness is very important, because this higher the cohesiveness, the more the members of the group will try to together work and accomplish the objectives of the organization. Then there should be norms, certain rules and regulations in the group. This is also characteristics of the group. There may be pivotal norms or peripheral norms. Pivotal norms are those norms which, on the basis of which the membership is given, and peripheral norms are those norms which are desirable, but these are also important. So if the people don't follow these norms, other people of the members of the group try to exert pressure, and the non-conformers have to conform to the norms of the organization, of the group. Now, coming to the roles, that the various roles assigned to the members of the group, and each member of the group tries to accomplish the responsibilities associated associated with that particular role. Then comes task. Tasks are also assigned to the groups. These tasks help the members to understand their area of operation, and they are prominent tasks. Okay, and the task like maybe production task, or it may be a problem solving task. Whatever be the task needs to be done by the members of the group. Whatever task is assigned to all the members. Then comes status. Status is how other people in the group look at the member, or give worth or respect the member. So here it is very important. This is one of the main characteristics. It is also to be understood that the people with higher status, both in the group and the organization, they should try to perform their job better in the group, their roles, responsibilities better in the group, because they will set an example to the other members of the group to work even more hard. Then comes interdependency. If aggregate of people or collection of people are not interdependent, then we cannot say those people constitute a group, because that is very essential. This is one of the main characters of a group. Then comes to interaction. There should be proper interaction between the members of the group. This is also a very important factor or characteristics features, because if the members of the group are not interacting, then they don't uh, they should not be part of the group. If they don't want to interact, social interaction is the cornerstone on which a group stands. So there should be interaction between the members of the group. And finally, perception of membership. The collection of people or the aggregate of the people, they should be recognizing them with the as a part of the group. Because if they don't consider themselves as the part of the group, they cannot remain the part of the group. So this is also one of the major characteristics of the group. So apart from these characteristics, today we'll understand why people want to form groups. So we'll start with that. The first point is affiliation. The need for relationship with other people is one of the strongest reasons to join groups. The need for relationship. Affiliation means relationship. The need for relationship. This affiliation means the need of relationship with other people is one of the strongest reasons why people want to join groups. Because human beings are gregarious in nature. Gregarious means they want to be part of a group together. They don't want to be remain the social beings. So humans are gregarious in nature. Groups provide a natural way for the people to gather in order to satisfy their social needs. So as you have understood in the characteristics, interaction, social interaction is the main reason, one of the main characteristics. So this social interaction is very much important, and the groups provides them a natural way to gather together and to satisfy their social needs of interaction. People, being such social beings, want to be a part of the group that satisfy their other needs like safety needs, self-esteem needs. So in order to satisfy these social and other related needs, the members of the group, people want to be members of the group. Relationship gives an individual who earlier felt lonely and miserable a recognition, and his work and personal life, both his work and personal life is balanced now, because he can remove his stress by affiliating himself with the group, by talking with the persons of the group, by socially engaging with the people of the group. So this is very important. So affiliation is the one of the main reasons why people form or join groups. So this need is the strongest in human beings, and it is a constant human drive. So this is the reason why, one of the reasons why people form groups. Now coming to the second point, that is goal achievement. We have studied in the characteristic that there must be certain common goal. So the basic purpose of the group formation is the achievement of the common goals. There is certain common goals and they strive to achieve them. Okay, what's achievement of the goals? Problems and tasks that require utilization of knowledge tend to give groups an advantage over individuals. There are certain problems and tasks which cannot be solved by individuals alone. And these groups, formation of groups helps them to have an advantage, and they together can solve the problem or task. There is more information in a group than one can have as a member or as an individual. Groups tend to provide a greater number of approaches for solving a particular problem, because there are a lot of people or members in the group. Each of them has their own thinking. So there is a lot of brainstorming and more creative ideas come into play, and the solution for problems can be or tasks can be easily sought out. So this is one of the reasons. And the basic purpose of group formation is the achievement of the certain objectives through task performance. So you have to understand that in order to achieve certain tasks, certain goals, in order to perform those or achieve those goals, we cannot be uh, uh, caught or cannot be uh, easily accomplished by an individual, that can be found by a group. So these individual people, they try to become part of the group in order to achieve these common goals. So this is also one of the reasons why people join groups. Then comes power. It is one of the most appealing aspects which attract a member to join the group. Okay, it is one of the most appealing aspects because individuals gain power in their relationship with their employers by forming unions. Why people join groups? Because they can form unions. When they have unions, they have more bargaining power with the employers. It is important because one person may not have that much power to bargain his rights with the union or with the management, but uh, with the management. But when he's a part of a union, then it gives a certain power or backing to the person, and the person feels empowered. So that is this feeling of being empowered is the reason why they form groups. Workers enjoy much more greater power by joining groups, and they have, because there is unity in number. Why they want to join groups? Because where there is a lot of people, there is unity. As we know that there is unity in number that drives them to be a part of the group. There are sayings such as "united we stand, divided we fall," or "unity is strength." All these things, these motivational lines, they also help to motivate the people to join group, because they feel that when they are in a group, they will have more power. Okay, so workers enjoy greater power collectively than they do individually. So that is the reason they join groups. Then comes status. Status is very important because gain status, people join groups. Member join particular groups or particular service clubs or political bodies only because those groups or clubs or bodies give them or confer them with certain status, because certain status is associated with a particular group. Suppose we say a group is a very successful performing group in the organization, and you get a chance to be a part of the group. Then what happens? You, being a part of the, being a member of the group, you also get the same kind of admiration status. People look up to you that okay, that person belongs to such successful group. That is the reason people want to grow. So as to gain that status, people join such groups. Typically, individuals will look for association with groups that is concerned to have high status. Nobody wants to join a group which is downtrodden, or nobody wants to join a group which is not performing well, the worst performing group. They want to be a part of a group which is highly performing or having high status. So that is the reason people want to join these groups. Is one of the reasons. Then comes self-esteem. Self-esteem means being a part of a successful group fulfills the member's self-esteem. Obviously, it's the status, and with status comes self-esteem. This self-esteem means was first, if you remember, in OB, while we are studying the Maslow's law. Maslow said that self-esteem is one of the main needs that a person desires. Okay, so this self-esteem needs are fulfilled when people join groups, because as suggested by Maslow, people have a basic desire for self-esteem, and this group membership nurtures self-esteem. If one belongs to a successful group, the self-esteem of all the members is boosted. When one member of a group does some good work, he gets praise from others. Not only this, he gets respect from others. This in turn brings a sense of recognition in the employee and in the member, and also the group. Somebody does a very good job in the group, not only the member, the group also gets recognized. So this fulfills the member's self-esteem needs, and the member will feel good about himself by virtue of the group's power, prestige, and social standing. So, due to this power or social standing or prestige of these successful groups, the member will also find that his self-esteem needs are fulfilled. So, this is one of the major reasons why a person wants to form groups or wants to be part of group. Apart from self-esteem, there is security needs. Security is perhaps the strongest reason for group formation, because the security is very important in a employee's life or any person's life. So it is one of the strongest reason for formation of these groups or people joining these groups. Somewhere individual need protection from other groups or other powerful individual in the organization. Also, they need security about their job, working conditions. So they cannot get this security unless and until they are a part of a group. So this is very important. Also, we say there is safety in numbers. So this is also one of the reasons why people want to join groups. These individuals seek security in group membership. These individual members, they seek security in this group membership. Group can act as a creative and effective buffer between the employees and the management or the stress of the organization. They act as a buffer. So they stand in between the management or this any kind of stress the person has and the member. So this buffer is important because it gives a certain kind of security feeling to the person, and he feels that he's secured, his job is secured, his position in the organization is secure. So he wants this feeling of security. This is very important for the members, because arbitrary policies and orders of the management hampers the members, individual members. So what happens, they want to have this psychological or effective psychological buffer in their mind, that they are not alone and their rights and their conditions of work will be better safeguarded or better secured when they join groups. So this is one of the reason people join groups. Apart from security, there is another reason of economic and reason why people want to be a part of group. Because what is the economic reason? Because employees form unions to ensure safety and security of the jobs. So individuals join groups because they believe that membership into that particular group will result in economic betterment. Okay, so people join labor union. There may be one labor union, there may be several labor unions. They want to join unions that has a record for securing higher wages or salaries for these employees. So this is one of the economic reasons why people want to form groups, because the people, they want that um, all their problems should be solved, and they should have safety and security of the job, because nowadays a lot of jobs are there which are not providing enough security to the persons. So there may be certain layoffs due to economic conditions, like you can see now during the time of this corona, a lot of people are losing their jobs. So if they are part of these unions, labor unions, which can help them in getting better payment or securing their jobs during this periods of crisis. So it is better for the employee also. So that is the reason they feel that if they will become a part of the group will secure them their job, their working conditions, and also whatever the compensation they are going to receive from the organization, these things will be secure. So this is one of the major reasons why the members, individual members, want to be a part of the group. So this is one of the major reasons. Apart from the economic reason, there is another reason of identity. In order to get identified, people join groups. Identity is one of the major reasons why people join groups, because individually, an individual member in a vast or a big organization is a nobody. Nobody recognizes him, and it's very difficult to have an identity in a very large organization. If you get job in very large organization, this is one of the reasons. Since there is, you are having no identity, you want to have certain identity. So people want to join certain high performing, performance oriented group, so that their work, they themselves will be identified in the organization. Everybody will look up to them, everybody will praise them, everybody will appreciate them for their good work. So in order to get this identity to these people, join these groups. In order to get identified as a member of the group, individuals gets identity. The only possible This is only possible when a person joins a group, because in a large, as I have said, large organization, individuals' identity is negligible. So this is the main reason why people want to form groups or want to join groups. Apart from identity, there is another reason, that is job satisfaction. Job satisfaction is very important in an employee's job. And without job satisfaction, a person cannot work in an organization. So, being a part of a successful group gives job satisfaction to individual, because a highly successful group performs the work properly. They are regularly appreciated for their good work. So they are recognized. So when the person, individual member joins the group, he wants certain job satisfaction. Many jobs which appear superficially dull or routine are made interesting by group. There are a lot of jobs that are very mundane. It's a very systematic way. It works systematic way, and this superficially mundane, dull, or routine jobs become more interesting when people join groups, because when people join groups, they, while performing the job, they can interact. If they have certain problems regarding the job, they can get assistance from the other members of the group. Also, the work doesn't remain mundane, because they also get to hear the experiences of other people of the group. So the same job which was very mundane, superficial, dull, or routine previously, when the individual was not a member of the group, now becomes much more interesting. Not only interesting, it, the spontaneity, the way, the speed, or the spontaneous nature is encouraged and practiced by the group. They don't want to be working systematically. They want this dynamism, this spontaneousness. So this thing, while doing the response, by accomplishing the goals, or by working towards a goal, and by performing all the responsibilities conferred by the uh, group roles, the people find that the jobs become much more interesting, when they become part of these successful groups. So they, in order to get this job satisfaction, they are interested to be a part of the group. Certain jobs that can be done by the isolated workers, there are certain jobs that doesn't require a group of members working together, but working as a group often results in higher motivation to the workers. Research has shown that those people who work together, they have more job satisfaction because they are less stressed, and they can get assistance if there's something goes wrong while doing the job. So there is a feeling of brotherhood also in the group. So all these things helps the individual member, individual person who is now a member of the group, to perform better. And when all groups perform better, all members of the group are satisfied regarding their job and perform better, the organization as a whole performs better, and the performance of the organization as a whole increases. So this is very important. So in order to get this job satisfaction, people want to be part of this successful groups. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why people form or join groups. Then comes another point, that is information. Information is very important. An individual comes to know about what is happening in an organization when he becomes a part of the group. Because when you are part of the group, you interact with all the members of the group. Because as we have studied earlier, social interaction is one of the major characteristics feature of a group. So when this individual person joins the group, he can get a lot of understanding, a lot of information about what is happening in the organization. The organizations can get information, this kind of information, when he becomes part of this informal groups. The informal groups are certain groups which are formed uh, due to their interest, common interest, or some people are working in a particular department, or some people are working in a certain group, they can form an informal group. These informal groups do not have direct sanction from the organization, but these are formed so as to satisfy their social needs of the members of the group. So this informal group helps to get this information, which is also known as, in communication you must have read, that is grapevine information communication, where the informal groups, they try to get a lot of information by this grapevine communication. So this informal group to which the member belongs is a source of communication or information to him. So this, being a part of this informal groups, helps them to get proper information about the company. A piece of information available to one member will nearly reach all the members of the group in a very short span of time. Because as we say, understood in grapevine communication, this information travels very fast. So if 1 or 2% of the group also know, get the information regarding a particular incident or particular event that is going to happen in the organization, it may be regarding performance appraisal, regarding layoff, regarding promotion, any kind of information, any kind of gossip. These things travel faster, and all the, if few people in the group know, all the members of the group may in a very short span of time understand or get this information. Even when an individual is on a holiday, he can catch up with all the information and gossip when he joins the job. So an individual comes to know what is happening in an organization by being a part of this informal group. So this is one of the major reasons why the individual person wants to be a member of a informal group. The group may also develop certain special code or language, okay, for speedy communication. There must be certain code languages they may be having, or certain code names they will be having for various people in the organization. Okay, certain nicknames. So they must be having this for speedy communication and easy understanding. Them also having this kind of codes or nicknames. But one thing has to be remembered here, that all the groups that is known from these informal groups, all the information or known from this grapevine communication are not always true. Sometimes it is true, and sometimes they are exaggerated and given a larger than life picture, and there are a lot of lies are also included in it. So before believing this grapevine communication, it is obviously important for the member of the groups to to move forward cautiously and not take everything on the face value, all the information on face value, and try to understand why certain information is circulating in the organizations. So the organization, even they don't want that these informal groups to operate this grapevine communication, they cannot stop the formation of these informal groups. In the next class, I will be studying about, in few classes, we'll be studying what are the types of groups. We'll be understanding what about the more about this informal groups and how they function. Okay, so being a part of these informal groups gives a lot of information to the individual. So the individual wants to be a part of a informal group. So today we have discussed what are the various reasons why people form groups. Okay, and I think it is understandable. And if you have any doubts, you can contact me. I will be sending you the notes digitally. Go from there. No need to panic. Stay at home. Be prepared. And finally, thank you for your attention.